thank you for keeping that up for the club. At this time, you guys can please stand up. We're going to have Dr. Bill Lavar get us started with a prayer.
And before I pray, I just want to announce to the club that a longtime member, Jim Beaver, this club passed away Saturday. His funeral is this coming Saturday at 2 o'clock at Anich Colonial. I think Jim had a 45 years of continuous attendance to this club and struggled for 35 years with cancer. So, and his wife is still alive, so we remember Jim. The other thing I want to just share with you is I began my career in ministry serving rural churches. And in rural churches at this time of year, every time you get up to pray, you pray for rain. You always pray for rain. Yes. And it starts raining, you don't ever pray that it stops, because it can stop and stop for a long time in Texas. Okay? You learn that. So as we go to God in prayer, we're going to pray for rain.
Amen. Yes.
Would you join me in spirit of prayer? Eternal God, we give you thanks for the blessings of this day. We give you thanks for the little respite from the heat that we've had over the last couple of days. We have certainly enjoyed it, but we would ask that if it be in your favor, we could use some rain. The country is parched, and we are parched, and there are people suffering. We give you thanks for this club, its work in our community as we go into the fall season and look forward to our next flag event on Labor Day. We ask your spirit to be upon all of those efforts, to be upon our club, upon this food, to take it to the nourishment of our bodies, and to keep us this day in your peace. In the name of the Christ, we pray. Amen.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Bill Lavar. Won't you stay standing up if we have Dr. Para lead us in the pledge? For sure.
Please stand, face the flag, put your hand on your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, and we have past President Shane Webb, who's going to lead us in a song. You got it, bro.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to today's presentation because my first job was as a lifeguard, but I had a request today. Apparently, Dallas has a baseball team. So we're going to sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever come back, for it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. The Rangers.
No Astros here. Eastern team. Well, thanks again. We're keeping up with the me no singing streak. So now we're gonna have Donna, who's gonna introduce our guest today.
Our guests today are John Shiro and Deborah Lynn from Visionary Wellness Center in Irving. And then we have Morgan Birch, who's going to become a new member of the team.
We have our presenters today. We're going to be introducing in just a few. But I do want to recognize and have our flag builders from this past Saturday stand up. If you went to the flag building this past Saturday. New members and listeners, the flag program helps fund a lot of the different programs that the Rotary Club has in place, like the youth program, a lot of the scholarships and whatnot. So thank you for doing that. And the next Flag Day is coming up on Labor Day, if my understanding. So let's see, Terry, are you doing the introduction?
You're up there if you want to.
Okay, well, we're gonna get this going, and I actually happen to know, or one of our presenters today for a very long time. As you guys know, I'm in the events production industry as well, which our speaker today. That's her role with the city of Irving as the event coordinator for all the events happening. So we get to work a lot and get to hear a lot of the things that this person has in mind for our community. And ever since she came on to the city of Irving as the assistant director, you guys have seen a lot of changes that have happened from a program perspective of things that are happening in the community to the quality of those events as well. But also just a lot of forward thinking, and that happens to be because of her background and all the things that she's achieved at some of the municipalities like Grapevine and in some of the events that she's worked at. She does have somebody else with her, Thomas Anich, which I'll probably have her introduce him a little bit more whenever after you go, because you might know a little bit more about him. But it is a pleasure to have you guys here. We're always looking forward to learning about how you guys are doing in y'all's department to improve the things happening in the community. So here's Amy Kinkade, guys.
It is such a pleasure to be here. I have to say that I work for the best city, the best department. We bring fun to the community, and how can that go bad? So we wanted to come to you to present some of the upcoming things going on in the city and Parks and Rec. Some of you might have heard some snippets of stuff, but I just wanted to bring you some exciting news, as well as I'll introduce Tommy in a bit, who will be giving an update on aquatics. So as you know, there's a lot of talk going on with neighborhood pools, Lively, Lee, and Center. So we opened it up to hear what the community wanted. We heard from so many different people about what you want. So with that vision, we came up with a very, very bold vision, and we'll get into that further, but so just some of the objectives was, how can we provide to the community with what is needed and wanted, which is recreation, fun for the family, aquatics, and what does that really look like? Also manage and update our multi-generational. We really don't have that here in the city. We have a lot of rec centers, but what does the big picture look like? We often hear, well, we have to drive to Great Prairie to go to Epic for the big picture. So also maintain the current 5-year capital improvement projects that we constantly have going. And then also incorporate facility operations in future focus for the next 3 years. So back in May, super exciting. We did a proposal to council and park board on design and construction for a new pool, outdoor pool at Lee. We also proposed an indoor aquatic facility at Center. And then we also proposed a new multi-generational community recreation aquatic center in Muskeg. We don't have a lot of the programs up north that we have at the senior center and some of the things down, but there's a need up in the northern section of Irving. So we proposed to open Lee Pool the spring, summer 2025. Again, that's an outdoor pool, so that will be open summer of 25. Center Aquatics is going to be spring of 26. Very aggressive plan. What we're looking at Center is how can we attach, I'm sure most of y'all have gone by and visited, but just how it sits, that pool's almost 70 years old. It's well exceeded the life of any pool, probably in the world. I feel like we need to go into the Guinness books of world records on that one. But we feel like there's a need for an indoor family aquatic facility there, and how can we connect that to the existing center and recreation center? So that is our bold what we proposed. So I know the number one question is funding. So we, knowing that the cost of construction just continues to go up and up. So we knew that we had to move quick if this is something that we wanted to do. So I call this creative budgeting. We have some of the best, our city manager, our council who backs what our proposal was, our parks board. We came up with a funding source of $92 million for all three projects that will be completed in the next 3 years, actually almost 2.5 at this point. But so we have $7 million designated for Lee. We have $25 million for Center and $60 million in Mustang. So we were able to tap into several different funding sources. We have some bonds. 10 million of that is for the senior center component. So we're able to add that into the multi-generational facility at the Mustang. We also have pension bonds and non-bond CIP that matured, so that 17 million. The most impressive thing is we didn't have to come up and raise the tax rate. So that's a huge, again, bold. That is the statement of the day for me, but this is exactly what needed to happen, and knowing that no one wants to raise their taxes, so we were able to come up with that. So construction timeline. I don't know if you guys have gone by Lively, but that pool has been demolished as of last week. Our goal was to get that out of the ground with dirt on top of it by the start of school, which was the 14th. So it opens that park up a whole lot. So go by there, it looks really good. We don't have the funding of what's going to go there at this point, but we're really focused on reaching out to the teens to see what that might look like in the future. With the PALS program, which is through the PD, the skate park, we demoed that knowing that there's a future plan, and we'll get to that as soon as we determine what that is when we engage with the teens. FY 23-24, we will begin the design and engineering of Lee Pool. We just went through the RFP process for that, and it will be going to council, so we'll be able to start working on that. So you'll see some dirt moving in that sometime this next fiscal year will start in October. Complete Center Mustang feasibility study that is currently going on. We're hoping to have that done by hopefully the end of this calendar year. Begin Center Mustang, which we talked about, what does that look like? Public input meetings. So just a lot of exciting times coming to hear what the community wants to build, what you guys want. FY 24-25, Lee Pool will open, and we'll start construction on both Center and Mustang at the same time. Will be fun to see that. And then 25-26, we will complete both with the opening of both of these facilities towards the end of that fiscal year. So the project approach, that's really small, I know, but we have gone through the first 4 phases at this point. So we're kind of at the tail end for this fiscal year. We will start, we're working on the visioning and options for Mustang through the and Center through the feasibility study. I will start designing concepts, and then financial modeling, which we'll get to in just a second. That's really big. Prepare operational assessments. So what we're currently doing is taking a look at our current policies, figuring out what's the cost to do business today, and under the new models, what does that look like so we can start preparing for budgets and staffing. So just getting an overall scope, that will be done through the feasibility study that we're currently doing. We'll also prepare an operational budget that will cover that, so we can start implementing staff before the facility opens, so we can have everything set by the time the doors open. As you can see here, at the bottom right, we've started a new tagline, "Let's Play Irving." I think it's a lot more fun than our normal city logo. But just knowing that where we're heading with our bold vision, we felt that we needed a new brand identity with this project. So you can see "Let's Play Irving," elevating aquatics and recreation. As you can see around, we're trying to get out in the community of all the great things that we have. We have these storyboards telling the story of what we're doing, how we're doing it, and how we're gonna get there. These are all in all of our facilities at City Hall. As you can see, it's splashy, fun colors. I've left some on the tables, but if you want more, feel free to take them. But each rec center has their own sheet that just tells what that is, the funding source, and just the big scope picture of the projects. All right, and now I get to introduce Tommy. He's been with the city for 20 years?
In the field for 20 years.
Okay. Okay, 10 years. See, I'm already aging him. But he has been at Lively. He recently came back home to the aquatic world where he started his career. So super happy to have him. He's our aquatic supervisor for the city who runs all of the pools. And he's gonna give you a quick highlight of how it was this summer and what the future programs look like. And with that, I'd like to pass this over to Tony.
Thank you for having me. We're really excited about where we're headed. We know that with these facilities coming online, we're gonna have to come up with ways to make sure that we're innovative and we're providing programs and classes and things like that for our residents in the new facilities, and to make sure that we can find the vibrant workforce that we'll need to staff. So to talk about staffing this year, it's something that we wanted to highlight because it's a little unique to Irving. Over the past 4 years, we've been experiencing a national lifeguard shortage, and that's across the board. Just about every city in the country had the same problem since COVID. And that's something that we attempted to tackle together as a city. You know, not just our Parks and Rec department, our communications department, our city managers were out asking teams to be lifeguards. And so it was a robust recruiting season this year, but we're proud to say that we were able to fill all the lifeguard positions that we needed this year to open full time. And that's the first time that's happened since COVID. And so we're starting to create that blueprint now on how to recruit, train, and retain lifeguards. So that as these facilities come online, again, we have that workforce ready, it's excited, well-trained, and ready to provide services. We're at about 93% full in our current year-round staff. But notice today we're actually closer to about 98%. We only have 2 positions left. So again, this is something that hasn't happened in almost 5 years. So we're going to keep making those strides in that in staffing. Something that was nice this year is we were highlighted. One of the few cities that was highlighted by the Dallas Morning News to come out and find out what we did to get these lifeguards. And they wrote a really nice piece for us talking about some of the efforts that the aquatic staff, aquatic leaders put together to capture some of these students. We are finishing up the summer now. We're finding really high morale levels. Everybody seems to, even with this heat, are still enjoying coming to work. So that's something that we're going to keep pushing as we move forward. So to give you an idea of what our summer schedule looked like, again, first time in 5 years, we were able to open these things full time. So the Cimarron Aquatic Center and the Western Aquatic Center were Tuesday through Sunday, which is historically what we've done. And we've been able to add some extra time for some of our residents that are looking for some of that self-directed, self-guided fitness in the morning. The center pool, the pool that is 70 years old, about to have its 70th birthday. We were able to open 5 days a week, which again is in line with what we've done pre-COVID. And of course, our indoor pools kept going. A lot of programs coming out of those, and then our spray parks, we have two, northwest and southwest spray parks, we're open every day of the week, 11 days. Total, we have 7 facilities, that ends up being about 1.5 million gallons that we have to take care of every year. So it's quite an undertaking to keep these things going. So as I say, we're gonna start the process now. We're gonna keep pushing the envelope, try to create new programs, we're gonna build on as we grow into the future. Some of the things that we wanna highlight, our Learn to Swim program is one of our marquee programs in our entire department. We taught 1,812 swim lessons this summer. We had over 1,000 on the waiting list just because we maxed out the instructors that we had. So it's something we're gonna continue to push. That's part of the initiative to get our residents swimming. It's for safety. It's a lifelong passion the residents can use their whole life, but it also helps in further recruiting because we're developing those swimmers in-house. As I said, we're gonna continue to be the best trained lifeguards that we can possibly be. We did partner with the fire department this year. We had multiple trainings with them. Lifeguards loved it, firemen loved it. The last one that we did on August 3rd, we actually held when we were open. So our residents got to see the lifeguards and the firemen training together. So something we're gonna continue to build on in the future. One of our new programs was a Pirates and Mermaids movie series, and that turned out to be a lot of fun. That's something we're gonna carry into the fall, kind of through a movie series. We found that was pretty successful. We were able to bring the season pass back. It's been 4 years since we've had it, but now we have enough hours that we can justify having a pass. Our residents can pay that and then visit us for the entire summer. And then our water aerobics is something we also wanted to highlight this summer because they're growing. So much so that we're gonna add 3 new classes starting this fall. So they have phenomenal experience, and something we're gonna continue to push as part of that fitness element that will carry on into our new facilities. Just to give you a brief idea of where we're at right this second, we're gonna stay open on the weekends through Labor Day. So again, definitely would love to see you out at one of our water parks, either at Cimarron or West. We do have North Lake and Center Pool currently closed. North Lake closes this time every year due to its annual maintenance, but they'll be opening on August 28th. But you definitely, again, visit us at one of our water parks if you have time. So we are growing. Going into the last spring, we were only open about 3 days a week at each facility. Our North Lake, which is on the college campus, we're gonna be open all 5 days a week, including Saturday and Saturday on top of that. And in Heritage, we will as well. We're still splitting the hours at Heritage, but when we fill those last 2 positions, we're gonna go ahead and get those hours brought up again. But again, when we're pushing the growth, we're gonna continue to try to add where we can so that we're rolling into these new projects with full steam. So as our fall programs, I know this is gonna continue to grow as we move forward. Lifeguard certification training, again, we're always gonna be recruiting. We do have in-house instructors. We provide a class every single month. If you have a student or anybody for that matter that wants to come work for the city, we'll cover the cost of that certification training, which is something unique that other cities don't do. But we're willing to make that investment for our employees that want to come work and reduce that barrier. Guard Ready is another program unique to Irving. Every Saturday, we have lifeguards on standby. And they're there to help any 14-year-old who wants to come in and get ready, or a 15 or 16-year-old needs that extra help to pass the guard test. We're gonna have somebody there. Again, we're gonna continually push, the training aspect of this. Aqua Stars is our special needs program, the second Saturday of every month. During the summer, it's at Cimarron, and during the school year, it's at the Heritage Aquatic Center. Again, those are the 3 new water aerobics classes that we're gonna be adding. A couple of those will be a little more higher impact. For some of our working adult age residents that want to come in and have water aerobics. We do have a swim team, again, our Learn to Swim program. And then the Aqua Rock School Night, something new, it's a new event we're going to try this year. It's the back to school type event we're going to do at Heritage Aquatic Center. We have a celebration of women's swim, which is a women's only swim that we have. Pumpkin Pool Splash was extremely popular last year. It's a trick-or-treat pumpkin themed event we do at the North Lake College. Our canned food dive is that initiative we have in November to collect canned food. If you bring canned food in, you'll get free pool admission for the day. And then our Irving Aquatics Christmas vacation. So a Christmas vacation themed Christmas event, Christmas. This one's gonna be new, so I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna turn out really well. So again, this is gonna be the push that we're hoping to carry us into the future. Keep trying to push the envelope and grow, but with that, I'll take any questions or any questions for Either one,
What does the season pass mean?
sure, it's a one-time purchase at the beginning of the summer, and that allows you to use many entries as you would like to have through the course of the summer.
So it's per person, not family.
There is a family pass,
So there
so
is-
yes, we do have a family pass as well. Yes, sir.
Are any of those indoor pools heated?
Yes, sir, they both are. We keep them at 84 degrees year round. The water, the air temperature is up 76. So,
I have to say that we used to go to the morning and we went over this all before summer. Awesome job, by the way, because that outlook did not look like that before summer. You must have done some fantastic recruiting to pull that off, because I think it was like really challenging before you got there, so.
Yes, sir.
So I'm glad to put the staff information up there, because one of the challenges in that construction project, refurbishing that type of thing, are the staffing pieces. So are you anticipating an ongoing cost increase in running these facilities related to restructuring?
Yes, we do. I want to speak to that. We do anticipate some cost increase, and also with the growth in staff. But we did also this year, as part of the recruitment effort, our city leadership allowed for a raise this year, which has been nice in the recruiting. So our lifeguards are now starting at $16.15 an hour, which made us super competitive amongst our peer cities. But it did show the help in recruiting. Yes, ma'am.
I guess this is for Amy. What is the status of the walking, jogging trail at Southwest Park?
I know that they are working on, that's part of the CIP project. And they're working on that. I don't know when that's gonna be completed, but I do know that it's in progress.
We have a great little park on down the way that, what is it, not Old Orchard, but anyway, it's some really nice little neighborhood park and walking trail. So really appreciate that. But I just wondered what that status was for the larger trail.
I know the Parks team is working really closely with CIP on the trail system as well as some of the parks. Getting them updated and some of the older playground equipment. There's a lot that needs to be done, and we're being very strategic in how we do that. We completed a master plan back in 2019. And we're looking at probably now with the future, it's time to probably revamp that to prioritize some other things. And parks will be very heavily on that. We have some bond money that will be going towards the upkeep and new things at the park, so stay tuned.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, well, one time you mentioned Aqua Stars, and I don't remember if you discussed what that was specifically, but at one time, wasn't that a program designed for students or children who had developmental delays, basic disabilities, that type of thing? Talk about that. That's an accurate characterization of it, number one. And then number two, have you seen a change or the growth in that over the years?
Absolutely. So Stars is designed for students or youth or children with special needs. Attendance has slowed down. So we have started to see a little bit an uptick here in the last month, the last one that we had at Cimarron on August 13th. We had great attendance, but we also partnered with the Miracle League. They brought some students out as well. And Project Y, I believe, was another group that came out to that. So we're going to continue to invest in that program.
Thank you.
Not a question, but I just want to say thank you for the trails that you have built at the Delaware Creek and the center, because they are amazing. I see a lot of people walking there and enjoying them, so thank you.
Hey, Liza, maybe they can come back and do a trail update in a couple of months, but also it's coming down the next 3 years on a trail going from circuit.
I was gonna ask more questions about that, but yeah, that'd probably be a whole topic. We
Trails.
have a lot of.
Especially when we work in the county.
Yeah. you want to get the picture real quick? Here. All right. Thank you. Well, it's always great to have people from our city tell the updates that are happening in our community. As an Irving resident myself, grew up in Irving after I was 13, and I got to utilize a lot of the trails. The reason why we started the Irving Marathon was because of the improvements that the city had made along Canyon trails, and it was important to get people to come to Irving and run into the beautiful trails that we now have. So I'm blessed we're part of a great community here. I do want to give you guys a quick update on one of our scholarship recipients, Jacqueline Lee. You guys remember Jacqueline Lee? She was the first generation Vietnamese American that received the scholarship from the Irving Rotary Club. And she had a lot of different ambitions that she wanted to do, from neuroscientist to working with dental. At a ribbon cutting last week with the Irving Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, I ran into her. She's working at Kudos Care, which is a facility off by the Irving Mall, which is a chiropractor, eye place for your eyes, but also a dentist, all three combined. And she's working with the dentist there, getting some experience before she heads to college. So she's doing very well. So that's a quick update there. And in that, so we also, the school year just started, and we're gonna be working with past president Shane Webb's gonna be working with the Interact kids and getting the program started and going again at Irving High School Nimitz and the Academy. Jim Klein also has agreed to kick up the JROTC program. For those of you guys that were part of the club before COVID, that was a program that was very active. So Jim's agreed to head that up again for us. I myself was a ROTC kid in Irving High School, so glad to see that that's going to get going, and we'll start seeing some of those students join us here for lunch as well. With that said, do we have any announcements from the club? Okay, Alex, you want to come up here?
I attend the district meeting once a month, and there is the first annual Rotary District 5810 cooking competition coming up in November. So if our club wanted to sponsor a chef to go, that's $350. It's November 18th, it's the Saturday before Thanksgiving from 5 to 8. And let's see, your chef brings a favorite dish that can provide 50 to 75 small samples. Savory dishes preferred, but sweets are welcome too. And if you just want to attend and have unlimited food samples, it's $40 a person. So.
I have a question. Be one of the students in the culinary programs in the Irving Independent School District as one of the chefs that you can send.
I can find out.
Because they're amazing.
Yeah.
All right, you can find that out. Thank you.
We'll get on it. I think I have a contact for that as well. Talking more about, do you have a question?
I don't want to get off the topic. If you were going to say something, I just wanted to ask about if the club was going to do something as a club or as individuals for Maui, for the relief in Maui. So.
You know, we haven't had that conversation. I don't know if we want to have it today. We are, as a board meeting on Tuesday. So it's probably something that we can bring up and then share with the club for the next meeting to see what we want to do. But yeah, so that's happened this.
Yeah, Pam sent out information of another district that actually has a foundation. If you want it to be tax deductible, you have to send it to a foundation.
Right.
So there is the foundation. I assume that district that she mentioned is the Hawaiian district. I didn't try to look that up, but everybody should have gotten an email from Pam Blankensee telling them a district to send it to. Also under Rotary International, There is a relief fund that you can contribute to that I believe if you contribute to that, you get credit towards your Paul Harris. Where if you're contributing straight to the district, I don't believe you'll get credit towards Paul Harris.
Got it. We'll do some research and for the next meeting, we'll have some more insight onto that. Talking about, at the last meeting, we talked about being a little bit more involved to the district. As you guys know, next meeting, the district governor, John Curtis is gonna be here. And we are gonna be working on a service project as a club. Terry she's doing all the legwork with Dr. Parra, and they're gonna bring basic needs supplies that we're gonna stuff for the Heritage Senior Center. And so we're gonna be making about 40 bags, right? On next Thursday. So come ready to work, and then when we listen to District Governor John Curtis tell us a little bit about the Rotary Club as a whole. But again, talking about being more involved and going to different things with the district. On the 26th of this month, we are having a district awards, which I've nominated 4 of you guys to some of the awards. I'm not gonna say who it is, so that way all of you guys go. And get a surprise. I'm kidding, but that information should be on your email as well. It is on the 26th, and I think it's only $35 to sign up to get a table and a meal and everything. It's on a Saturday evening, and it literally is about 15 minutes from here if you take the tollway, so it's not too far. And that's on the 26th. I myself am going to go with Jacqueline. So if anybody else wants to go, let us know so that we can all kind of sit together. And again, you get to meet people from the 62 other clubs there, so it's not like we're the only club in North Texas. You can meet other people. With that said, again, next week, come ready to do some work. We want to continue to encourage you to invite new prospective guests. Again, we hear a lot about the term Rotary, right? And you see yourself as a Rotarian with certain traits. And if you know other people like yourself or people that you'd like to be part of the club as well, just invite them over to come and be part of the next meeting. And you know, they'll be like maybe like Morgan here and join here pretty soon as well. So any other announcements for the club today? All right, well, we are going to, I'm not going to get this time, we're 4-way test. And if we can have Lieutenant Cody Jones lead us on the 4-way test, if you can start that.
Yes, if you can please stand and recite the 4-way test of the things you think, say, or do. First, it is true. Second,
Is it fair to all concerned?
3,
Will it be good to
Fourth,
will it be beneficial to all concerned?